Hi there, it's Michelle from Move 365 at home. I'm going to talk you through probably the most important workout that I've given you so far. So important that I'm actually going to put it on the app as well, because if you do nothing else, do this one. This one's a little bit more focused on strength. We can play a little bit fast and loose with our hip programming. It's fun, burns, get your heart rate up, a lot of output required for that. But when you're talking about strength, can't really play so fast and loose with it. There's certain foundational movements that you must hit in a certain way so that we don't lose our strength. Don't worry, prevailing wisdom says it's about 30 days plus or minus 5 before you start to see a slow drop off in strength. So as long as you're doing this workout every week, would be great, then you should be able to maintain your strength through this chaotic, crazy time at home. Okay, so I'd like you to do a general sort of dynamic warm up, and I'll take you through that right now. We're going to try to do it in place for the most part, just as we would do at Move 365. Take a little bit of space and go into some range of motion. Here we're going into single leg squat with a bit of a pause. 5 or 6 aside. And then let's stretch out the hamstrings. I'm not going to travel with this one. I'm going to stay stationary. Heel down, toe up. Try to keep a flat back. I'm going to take a wider than hip stance. I'm going to sit down into a squat, and then I'm going to grab my toes, raise my hips up, get another stretch of my hamstrings, sit back down. Do this 5 or 6 times. Notice that my back is maintaining its fatness or erectness. Okay, I'm going to widen your stance. Just go out even wider. Hands come to the ground. If you lack the mobility to get your hands down here, just elevate your surface, a book or a pillow or something. Okay, so then from here, using this hand as leverage, we're going to rotate the other arm towards your ceiling, alternating. Going to go 4 aside. And then I'm going to come down to the ground into quadruped position, which just means on all fours. Going into a bird dog, opposite arm, opposite leg extend out. I want you to keep your back flat and neutral, which means no sagging and no rounding. Find that sweet spot of neutrality. Opposite arm, opposite leg, out and pause. Your back toes, maybe an inch off the ground. Nothing big and up, just barely off the ground. Tighten the glute on the extending leg. Do one more on each side. Drop down to a plank, please. 30 seconds-ish. So I'm not timing, I'm just estimating. I'm a pretty good estimator by this point, about halfway. Time. Drop your knees, come back into a quadruped position. We're now going to isolate your shoulder blades. So without bending the elbows, I just want you to bring the shoulder blades together into retraction, squeeze down and back, and then reverse that into protraction. The movement's not coming from here. It's coming from the shoulder blades, higher up in your back. If you feel yourself moving here, Sit back to your heels. That way you'll take your low back out so that it can't be the mechanism of movement and your thoracic spine only can. We'll go about 5 more here. Pop back up to your feet. Take a reverse lunge. Whatever leg steps back, that arm reaches up and over, alternating sides. 4 or 5 a side, maybe 6. Oops. Okay, we'll go lateral lunge. Sit stationary. Sit your weight back to your heel. Bend this leg, but don't let the knee collapse in. Try to keep a tall chest. I'll go 6 one way and then 6 the other way. And then 6 the other way. Okay, so here's where we're going. When you're at home without access to dumbbells or Olympic bars, things that we would typically use to help develop and maintain and increase strength, there's a couple of ways we have to then switch our workouts so that we're still hitting progressive overload. We're still making our muscles move past the point of being easy and comfortable in order to force them to maintain their strength or increase their strength. So, the way that we're going to do that today is with tempo as well as range of motion. Um, but your range of motion, what it is right now, is what it is. You can take these couple weeks at home and start to work on it. But increasing range of motion takes a long time. So, in addition to that, you're going to really pay attention to the tempo of your movements. That's going to put your muscles on maximum time under tension, forcing them to do a really hard job for a really long time. Your first set has got 3 exercises in it. A squat, so a knee dominant exercise, a push up, so chest and core, and then supine leg lowers, which is just full on core. We're going to do that 4 times, but here's the kicker. Your tempo is a 5-0-1 on the first 2 exercises. But that means it's going to take us 5 seconds to get to the bottom of our squat. We'll pause there, maximum a second, and then rise back up. We'll do that 6 to 8 times. Same tempo for the push-up. 5 seconds on the way down. That's going to be very challenging for 6 to 8 reps, no matter who you are. And then supine leg lowers, we don't really need to stick to quite such a slow tempo. It's a pretty good challenging exercise in and of itself, and I'll give you a progression when we get there. We'll rest about a minute and a half between sets. We're going to do that 4 times. 4 times. Okay, so we're going to start standing with your squat. You choose the width of your hips, at least hip width, or maybe you want to go a little bit wider, depending on what feels good for you. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's what feels good for you. But it's going to take us 5 seconds to get down to the bottom. So this time I am going to set my stopwatch so that we can make sure we're consistent. So if you're doing with me, don't sweat, I got you covered. If you're doing this on your own, you're going to think it's 5 seconds, but it'll be 3. So use a timer. Okay. Exercise number 1, 6 to 8 reps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back up. That's 1. Watch my knees. They're tracking out. Pause here, back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back up. I'll turn sideways, coming into our 4th rep. 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway. Well, you can go 6 to 8, depending on who you are or where you are in your fitness journey. If by the time you got to 8, you still weren't feeling it all that much, go to 10, but no more than that. This is our 6th. Going to do 2 more, just starting to feel it now in my quads. One more. Good. Okay. Going to do the same tempo with push-ups. Going to show you 2 options. Number 1 will be from your knees, the easier version, modified push-ups. I need you to have no bend in your hips. Push your hips forwards like you're in a plank position, and then it will take you 5 seconds to get down. I'm going to use my timer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't touch the ground. Push back up. Next level. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. That's 2. That's 3. 4. Again, I'm going to go 6 to 8. You can go up to 10 if you'd like. Keep going. If you need something in the middle between the floor and the ground, that's where a chair comes in. Exact same thing. Elbows bend back to 45 degrees. This would be a good intermediate between knees and ground. This would sort of be middle ground. Do 2 more. For me, I'm going to the ground. 1 more. Good. That last one got a little bit hard for me to push up. So that's pretty good. Okay. Third exercise. I'm going to show you a few options. Beginners, you're going to set up near a wall, and we're going to use a wall brace to help us brace the core a little bit more. So I'm supine on the ground. You can still see me? Yep, cool. Supine on the ground. I'm going to push my hands into the wall like you're trying to push the wall down. You'll feel your abs light up right away as soon as you push. Then legs come up to 90 degrees, and we're going to go alternating leg lowers for 8 aside. My low back is flat to the ground, and that's mandatory. If your back starts to arch, as I'm demoing now, you don't get to drop your legs so far. Maybe you just stay here, or maybe you put a bend in your lever. Either way, if that's easy, bilateral for 8, 8 aside. Good. Okay, so set 1 done. We're going to rest a minute and a half, and you're going to do 3 more sets just like that. Once you're done your 3 more sets, just like that, we're going to move on to set number 2, which is where I'm going now. For this set, you need 2 towels. The last set, as I mentioned, was knee dominant. This one's going to be more of a hinge dominance, hitting your posterior chain, your backside. So I'm going to lie on the ground, just as I was in my last exercise. But now I'm going to put my heels on my towels. You know where I'm going with this. Hamstring curls. This set, we're not going to keep the 501 tempo. We're going to keep a 401 tempo. So a little bit quicker on the hamstring curls. So it's going to take us 4 seconds for me to extend my legs all the way out. Notice that I flattened my back, raised my hips, and I'm going to commit to holding my hips in this position. You can use your arms for stability and support. That's okay. Still going to hit your hamstrings pretty hard. 4 seconds out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the hips up. Pull the feet back in towards your glutes. So I'm going to keep elevated through all 8 to 10 reps of this hamstring curl. So I'm on a slippery floor, so towels work fine for me. If you only have a carpeted space, you could use something slippery like frisbees. We're only concerning ourselves with being slow on the way out. The in or concentric phase can be a little bit quicker. I don't know where I'm at. I'm going to do 3 more. One more. Okay. Second exercise is still going to use a towel. This one you will want something to kneel on just for comfort. Even if you are on carpet, you'll want something else. So we're going to go kneeling on a pillow, in my case, yoga mat, and I'm going to go into a plank extension or ab rollout. Same position, right, from earlier. I don't want your behind up. I want you to be in a modified plank position from your knees. And then we're going to slide the towel out as far as we can. The out is easy. The hard part comes pulling it back in. So don't go all the way out and then not be able to get back up. Think shortened range of motion, wider knees, bigger base of support will make it a little bit easier. Out, in. I'm going to come at you, so I'm going with the grain of my hardwood. I'm going against it right now. Okay. Wide. So you can hear me huffing and puffing. It's not easy. Last one. Okay, so the core, we don't need to do 8 or 10, 6 to 8. The last one we're going to do in this set is for your back. It's really hard when you're at home to work your back if you don't have any sort of equipment. In this video, I'm going to use just a body weight YTW exercise, but I'm actually going to post another video later or tomorrow to show you how to work your back when you're at home with the sort of home equipment that you will already have. That's the hardest part, hitting your back at home. Okay, YTWs. Those of you that know us that move already know this. You can go down, you can go do it. You know what I'm talking about. Other ones. So I'm going to be prone on the ground. I'm going to like talk to the camera right now so you can hear me better. But when you do this, nose to the ground. If you are standing above me, looking down on me, the YTW references the shape that my arms will go into. Okay, so the first one is a Y, thumbs to the sky. I need your shoulder blades to come down and back before you do anything else. This right shoulder blade is driving down into my left back pocket. Left shoulder blade is driving down into my right back pocket. Okay, so drive them down. Here's my Y. Thumbs to the ceiling. Pause. Back down. Don't lift your lower body up off the ground. It has nothing to do with your lower body. This is a back exercise. Okay, so you'll do one Y and then one T and then one W. And you'll do 6 of this sequence. Notice that I'm pausing in each letter, really squeezing my shoulder blades together. And you'll do 6 rounds of the YTW combination. When you're done that, you'll rest a minute and a half and you'll do this set. I can't remember how much. You'll do this set 3 more times for a total of 4. If you're short on time, you can drop a set of this set. So 4 of the squat set, 3 to 4 of this set. When you're done that, we've got one more thing to do. I'm going to go into some isometric holds to really kind of as a finisher to make sure the muscles have been pushed past the point of it being easy and comfortable in order to hit progressive overload. 3 new exercises. This one is time-based, so you'll need to have a stopwatch or time yourself on your Apple Watch. We're going into 20 seconds per side of a split squat. So from a stationary position, I'm going to step my leg back, tilt my pelvis, and drop my back knee down to the ground. Hold here for 20 seconds, starting now. As you get fatigued, you're going to start to sneak up a little bit, and I'm going to challenge you to keep your knee just off the ground. Try not to lean forward, but to have a vertical chest. 5 more seconds on this side. And then switch, 20 seconds on this side. After this, we're going back down to the ground. We're going to hold the bottom portion of a push-up where our nose is just like an inch off the ground. Yeah. Time. Okay, remember those earlier versions of the push-ups, either from the knees or from the chair or from the ground, whatever you chose last time. Go back to that same movement. So for me, I'm going from the ground. I am going to maintain a straight line from my head to my hip to my heels, and I will not let my hips sag. And by me, I mean you. Okay, 20 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, down and hold. See how straight? Stay straight. Elbows back, 45 degrees. I'm going to stop talking because this is hard. Stop the hair. Okay, we're at 12 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Some more on your mat. Same isometric format, but single leg hip extension. So both feet down, elevate one leg, your knees stay side by side, push hard with this heel, raise your hips up, hold. So sort of that same position we're in the hamstring curl, but now we're just going to hit the glute and hold here. 20 seconds aside. Five seconds on this side. 3, 2, switch. Don't drop your hips. Keep them up there. I want your hips to stay side by side. Don't let the legs start to drop. Stay up. Halfway. Where my sheet of paper is. Oh, there it is. Okay. Time. Drop your hips, rest and relax. Drop the knees side to side if that feels good. You are going to take a minute of rest, maybe a minute and 30, and then you're going to do it again. And then you're going to take another minute, minute and a half rest. You'll do it a third and final time, and then you're done. Thanks for watching. Make sure you do this one. Thanks.